Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this live stream of Lake Central Boys Basketball here on this Saturday night. I'm Javai Alcantara, and tonight South Bend Clay comes in with a record of 1-12, and they're just coming off a 100-46 loss to South Bend Riley. This South Bend Clay team has lost 4 games in a row, and their last win was on December 29th. So it's been a month now since this team has won a game, and tonight they're going to have to do a lot of things if they want to beat this Lake Central team. From over that, I'm going to turn it over to the other Alcantar and Lake Central alumni, Eric Alcantar.
Thank you, Giovanni. Tonight, I think it's a trap game for Lake Central because this is a team they really should beat. But I'm sure this South Bend Riley team is very hungry to get a win on the road against a pretty good Lake Central side. Lake Central has lost 2 straight games themselves to Valparaiso and Chesterton, and both of those were conference games, so they need to come out better than they did against Chesterton.
Well, Lake Central has a record of 9-8, and they're on a 2-game losing streak, as you just said. What needs to happen tonight for Lake Central to come out with the W?
I touched on it a little bit earlier, but Lake Central cannot let what happened against Chesterton last night happen again. They were down 22-6 at one point in the first quarter, and they finished with only 9 points in that first quarter. So tonight, Lake Central needs to start better and have a strong finish.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for the tip-off of this game. We will be back after this short break. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting ready for tip-off here. It's number 25, Keon Sellers, going up against number 32, Alan Presley. Ball is up. Lake Central gets it. Derek Hobbs will take it up for Lake Central. Sophomore guard. Jack Davis gets it. Back to Derek Hobbs. Hobbs gets it back to Connor Tomzik, senior guard. Gets inside to Justin Graciano. He gets the first points of the game for Lake Central.
Lake Central will take that look all night long. It's a good one.
Here's number 10, Amari Beecham with the ball. It's outside to Beecham again. Defended by Derek Hobbs. Gets it to Jackson Jones. Back to Presley. Graciano on him, and it's going to be a foul on South Bend.
Yeah, it looked like when he got the ball there, he swung his arms a little too much. The referee didn't like that, and so he gave the offensive foul.
It's going to be Hobbs taking it up. Looking for something outside. Gets to Jack Davis. Back to Connor Tomzik. Graciano. Swing to Jack Davis. Davis for three. In and out.
And not a bad follow-up play there. They get it to Graciano and then kick it out for an immediate three.
Beecham on the outside. Looking for something. Gets it to Johnson. He puts up the shot. It's no good. Jack Davis gets the ball. Gets it back in, and Justin Graziano. Lake Central looking for a fast break. And they get Connor Tomzik. Great fast break by Lake Central. Puts them up 4-0.
And that was great awareness by Hobbs to stay in bounds and get the ball up the court as quickly as he did.
And it's going to be a foul.
I believe that was an illegal screen.
Number 32, Alan Presley, that's his second, and the team's second.
Perhaps a nightmarish start there for Presley.
Hobbs takes it up. Gets it to Keon Sellers. Back to Connor Tomzik. Keon Sellers has it again. Graciano was double teamed for a minute. Jack Davis looking for a pass. Gets it to Derek Hobbs. Hobbs going inside. Gets it to Sellers. Nearly turned over. Connor Tomzik able to get the ball back to Jack Davis. Graciano going inside. And he's fouled.
Play foul number 40, Joshua Black, that's his first, and the team's third. Entering the lineup for the Colonials, number 20, Jalen Alberts.
Less than 3 minutes in, and South Bend already has 3 fouls. Inbound Jack Davis for 3. No good. And a foul. It's going to come back to Lake Central.
Yeah, it looked like Jackson Jones. He was trying to do a box out, but he ended up pushing the Lake Central player all the way out of bounds, and the referee saw right through that.
Connor Tomzik is going to inbound this one. Get to inside to Graciano. Graciano with the shot. No good. It's new, stolen by Keon Sellers. We saw last night he had 4 steals. And Jack Davis with the block. It'll go back to South Bend.
There was a little more movement there from South Bend Clay, but so far their offense has been really stagnant. It's led to them having to take nothing but contested shots so far.
Jones outside gets it to Beecham. Back to Presley. Puts up a shot. It's no good. Can't get the rebound though. And it's going to be a foul on Lake Central.
Lake Central foul number 25, Keon Sellers, that's his first, and the team's first.
And it'll come to the line.
Play, Jackson Jones will shoot 2.
It'll be Jackson Jones, sophomore forward. First one's up. It's good.
And sometimes those are the hardest points of the game, the first ones. So important for South Bend Clay to get on the board.
See if they get another one right here. Ball is up. It's good. So almost 3 minutes in, South Bend finally gets themselves on the board. Derek Hobbs gets inside to Keon Sellers, and this one's good.
Same deal as the first points of the game. Inside, an easy look for an easy 2.
Keon Sellers almost had another steal. We saw him last night with 3 dunks and 3-point by Jalen Alberts, and it's going to be a foul on South Bend here. Hobbs takes it at his own end. Hobbs gets it to Graciano. Graciano trying to find someone. Back to Hobbs, he nearly lost it. Keon Sellers going inside, and he gets the 2.
And that was great play designed by Lake Central. They flooded the left side of the court and left Sellers one-on-one in isolation where he thrives. Attack the basket again for another 2.
And a timeout's called by South Bend Clay. As you said earlier, they keep selling for contested shots.
Yeah, and we saw South Bend Clay, Jalen Alberts, he took that 3. It was a pretty deep 3. He showed a lot of range. I think Lake Central will have to keep an eye on that because if a shooter like that can get going, he can shoot from basically anywhere behind the 3-point line. A very dangerous weapon for a team like that to have.
As we come out of the timeout, looks like Lake Central will keep the same 5 out there. Really no need for any drastic changes. We'll go Beecham. Gets it to Presley. Back to Jones. Jones for 3. No good. Graciano gets the rebound. Here he's getting double teamed. And it's a turnover. And Beecham nearly had a layup. South Bend Clay couldn't take advantage of that turnover. Connor Tomczyk takes a 3 and a traveling called.
I was interested watching South Bend's JV team. They pressed a lot in situations like that, and I was wondering if that philosophy would carry over to the varsity team, and it looks like it has. They've come out very aggressive on the defensive side of the ball.
And another near turnover for South Bend. Here we go, drives, and he's fouled on the way up by Graciano. That was number 32, Alan Presley.
Lake Central foul number 33, Justin Graciano. That's his first and the team's second.
First one's up, and this one is no good.
At the line for play, Alan Presley will have one more.
And he makes the second one. And you see that press again by South Bend. Jack Davis, open look. He hits it.
And that's one of the weaknesses of a full court press is if you break out of it right away. You saw Davis was wide open in the corner for that 3. Lake Central will take that all day.
And Jack Davis is this team's premier 3-point shooter as Beecham with the 3, and that one's no good. Jack Davis able to get the rebound. 3-on-2 for Lake Central, and he's fouled on the way up.
And I think that if you're South Bend Clay, you don't want to settle for that kind of shot. He goes for the answer right away, and it's clear they want to push the ball on offense, but it's a very bad shot in transition that way.
The team's 5th. The line for Lake Central, Jack Davis will shoot 2.
Here you go, Jack Davis comes to the line after being fouled on his way up to the basket. First one is up. It's good.
Returning for South Bend Clay, number 40, Joshua Black.
Here we go, Derek Hobbs and Connor Tomczyk will come out. Isaiah Beatty comes into the game for Derek Hobbs, and Zach Dubos checks in for Connor Tomczyk. And Jack Davis comes to the line and hits both of them. And Beecham gets past Keon Sellers. 3, and this one is good. Jalen Alberts, the senior guard.
Lake Central's going to have to keep a better eye on him. That's 2 now that he's got.
Indeed. We saw what he did last night on the defensive side of the ball. really made an impact for this team against Chesterton. Let's see what he does tonight. Jack Davis gets the pass from Keon Sellers, and another foul by South Bend.
Play foul number 40, Joshua Black. That's his second and the team's sixth.
Here we go. B will inbound the ball. Here goes Dubos on the outside. Gets it back to Betty, excuse me. Dubos. Keon Sellers. Gets it to Graciano. Graciano drives. Gets the N1.
And it looks like South Bend's interior defense really isn't something to write home about right now. Lake Central continues to attack the paint, and it's leading to great results. This is their 7th foul already, and Lake Central is having their way with them inside.
Here we go. Dominic Straponi comes out for Keon Sellers.
Entering the play lineup, number 44, Jonathan White.
And Lake Central looks like they're trying to put some pressure on them right now. He finds him. Outside, takes another 3. This one no good. Straponi gets the rebound, gets it to Biddy. Graciano looking for someone. B has it back. Graciano now back with it. He puts up a shot. This one no good. Beecham again, and foul on Lake Central.
Lake Central foul number 20, Isaac Beatty. That's his first and the team's 3rd. Returning for Lake Central, number 5, Connor Tomaszek.
And Connor Tomaszek right now comes in for Justin Graciano. Tomaszek just had a short rest. Trying to make a tough inbound for him. That does not work. 3 by Beecham, and that one is good.
And it looks like South Bend is content to live and die by the 3 tonight.
John Bay gets it back to Connor Tomaszek. Connor Tomaszek gets it up, and he's fouled on the way up.
And I like the aggression there by Tomaszek to attack the basket, see if he can get to the line. And again, this is a team that's already in foul trouble. Attack the basket as much as possible when you get the opportunity.
Tomaszek's first one is up. It's good. Keon Sellers will check back into the game for Jack Davis. Second one is up, and it is good. And Sellers almost had it for a second. Looking to make a play here, and South Bend Clay cannot keep it in bounds. Number 20, Jalen Alberts couldn't handle that one.
And on that possession, Lake Central went to a full court trap, and it worked great.
Looked like Jalen Alberts and Keon Sellers getting into it a little bit. Referee has to calm them both down. He inbounds it to me, and he nearly loses it. Here Dubos. Not sure what he was trying to do there.
Looked like he got caught in between a pass and a shot.
Jones gets it to Jonathan White. And Alberts for 3, and that one is no good. Straponi gets the rebound. Let's see if Lake Central can do something on this fast break. Keon Sellers puts up the layup, and it is good.
Lake Central has done a great job so far of getting out in transition and getting those buckets on the other end.
Beecham inside, and that one is no good by Jalen Alberts.
Play foul number 24, Jackson Jones. That's his second and the team's 9th. Returning for Lake Central, number 1.
And South Bend
Jared
already with
Hobbs.
9 fouls in this quarter.
And it speaks to the importance of attacking the basket earlier in the quarter, because now a foul like that on the other end leads you to the free throw line on your own offensive end.
Connor Tomzik
And at the
to
line
shoot
for
free
Central,
throws.
Connor Tomasic will shoot 1 and the bonus.
Here we go, Tomzik, first free throw is up. It's good. .34 seconds left to play in this first quarter. Tomzik, his second one is up. It's good. Let's see what South
back
Bend,
to that full court press.
see what they can do at the end of this quarter. He puts up a layup, and that one is good. That was number 22, Trenton Johnson, freshman. Betty takes it up. We're going to find something at the end of this first quarter. Tomzik nearly loses it. Not the best pass by Betty. Tomzik drives, and he hits it.
A wonderful rainbow shot there. He gets fouled on the way up, and he just kind of lays it up and in.
Play foul number 22.
Great job by finishing.
Johnson, that's his second and the team's 10th.
What a shot.
At the line for
Really impressive, too, because he was knocked off balance on the way up and was able to just kind of lay it in. A chance for the three-point play.
Chance to take an 11-point lead, and he's got it. Let's see what South Bend Clay tries at the end of this half. It's going to be a long shot, and that one is no good. At the end of the first quarter is Lake Central up 25-14.
And so far, the things that I've gathered from South Bend Clay, this is a team with a lot of fight, even though I didn't, the record may not show it, and you have a lot of assumptions about a team like this before you see them on the court. But this is a team that has a lot of fight. I can see that they play with a lot of energy. Earlier, they were settling for bad shots, and then, as they kind of got hot from the three-point line, they were able to get it close. They just weren't able to kind of maintain that same intensity on the defensive end. They committed so many fouls early on that Lake Central was practically living at the free throw line at the end of that first quarter.
Well, I'm very glad to see that tonight the student section has decided to dress as bleachers.
It'll be South Bend Clay ball to start the second quarter.
I want to shout out that guy in the Ball State shirt over there, my alma mater.
Here we go, it'll be number 40, Joshua Black, to inbound it. And he's trying to find someone. Pass it to, and he gets it to Beecham. Back to Johnson. And Tomzik and Sellers double teaming him. Jack Davis almost had a steal. Here we go, Alberts for three, and that one's no good. And Johnson able to come up with it. Gets it to number 40, Joshua Black, who puts it in for two. And Jack Davis able to keep that one in. He gets it to Derek Hobbs. Hobbs has some space. Graciano takes a three. No good. Keon Sellers got the rebound. Tried to make it a pass to Hobbs. Here we go. Jack Davis now going inside. Puts up a shot. That one's no good. Keon Sellers got the rebound. Put up a shot. No good. It'll be Trenton Johnson now going up for the layup, and it's good.
Trenton Johnson.
And just back to that last play quickly, when you get 3 shots in one possession, you got to come away with some points. So Lake Central very unfortunate there to not get anything out of it.
They're pretty decent looks too. Graciano had a pretty decent three. Keon Sellers had a chance to put it back in, but no points for Lake Central. Here go Tomzik to Graciano for three. It's good.
3-point field goal.
Giving Lake Central a 10-point lead.
And it might not feel like it, but Lake Central did need those points right there to kind of calm the run down. South Bend,
He drives and an air ball. Graciano able to get to Connor Tomzik. Connor Tomzik goes inside, and that one's going to go back to South Bend Clay.
Returning for Lake Central, number 34, Don Giappone.
And Dominic Straponi will check into the game for Keon Sellers. Johnson finds his man inside, and it's good. Number 40, Joshua Black, gets the foul and the shot off.
Lake Central foul number 5, Connor Tomzik. That's his first and the team's fourth. At the line for
Makes it
play,
28-20.
Will shoot one.
Chance to make it a 7-point game with this free throw. Here we go, it's up. No good. Straponi got the rebound, gets it to Graciano. Graciano gets it to Derek Hobbs. Hobbs gets it back to Graciano, back to Tomzik. Inside, Derek Hobbs puts it up. No good. Straponi able to get the rebound. Jack Davis for 3. In and out. Connor Tomzik able to get back. It's going to be a foul again on South Bend Clay.
Play foul number 44, Jonathan White. That is his first personal foul.
they've had some trouble in this second quarter so far, getting the defensive rebounds and pushing it back the other way. It's really what's keeping them from getting even closer to Lake Central.
Connor Tomzik, first one is up, and it's good. Tomzik, second one is up, and it is good. Eacham, and Jack Davis with the steal. Jack Davis missed, but he was fouled on the way up.
And that was just sloppy there by the inbounder.
South Bend play foul number 44, Jonathan White. That's his second personal foul. At the line for Lake Central, Jack Davis will shoot 2.
Jack Davis misses his first free throw. The second one is up, and this one is good. Eacham gets the inbound, gets it to White. Back to White. Here we go. Open three. Jalen Alberts is good from downtown.
And Alberts had missed a few in a row. He gets back in rhythm there. It looks to me like he's their main scoring threat on this night.
Lake Central cannot let him get open like that. He had all day to shoot that one, and Straponi fights for it. It's going to be a jump ball, though, come back to Lake Central.
And back to that three, he had missed a couple, and I think that led to the Lake Central defense perhaps playing a little further off of him than they were after he'd hit his first two shots.
Hobbs inbounds it to Tomzik. Tomzik to Graciano, finds Jack Davis, and he got it.
Jack Davis.
Oh, and Graciano nearly gets the steal. Gets it outside to White, and White tried to pass it inside, and this one is gonna see what they call it. Jump ball, and they'll stay with South Bend. We go Hobbs and Straponi subbed out for Betty and Keon Sellers.
And on that play, Lake Central were just a little unfortunate not to come away with another turnover.
He inbounds it, and he's able to get Jonathan White. He takes a three, and this one's good. Trenton Johnson, number 22. Great shot from him, makes it an 8-point game. Betty inside, he's good.
Another three-point opportunity for the Indians coming up.
Play foul number 10, Amari Beecham. That's his first personal foul. Returning for Lake Central, number 24, Zach Dobis. And at the line for Lake Central,
Connor Thompson comes out of the game. Zach Dubos comes in. And he makes that free throw. Gets the M1. Beecham takes it up. Beecham going inside. And he misses the layup. And he gets it back. Jonathan White with the rebound and the score. Betty, you check back in for Derek Hobbs. Has it now. Jack Davis now. Gets it back to Dubos. Keon Sellers. Graciano faked a shot. Keon Sellers going inside. And that one goes off of South Bend play, and it'll come back to Lake Central.
Sellers thought he was fouled on the play. Nonetheless, it'll be Lake Central ball after the timeout.
Timeout Lake Central. This is a 30-second timeout.
Well, South Bend's really been able to hang well with Lake Central tonight, only down 9 points. And they've played well at times tonight. They've made key shots, but they just got to play better on the defensive side of the ball and not get into foul trouble.
Yeah, not only that, but you know, every time they're kind of playing out of their own end, Lake Central has decided to press at different times during this game so far, and it's worked well for them because South Bend Clay keeps turning the ball over.
Inbounds at Graciano, corner three, no good. And Sellers got the rebound, and he can't get anything going with it. Here we go, Jalen Alberts with the layup, and it is good. 37-30. Betty now. Gets it to Zach Dubos. Keon Sellers now. Jack Davis going inside. And Jack Davis with the layup.
The under and up, a great finish by Davis there.
Mar Beecham now. Gets it to Jalen Alberts. Back to Joshua Black. Trenton Johnson for three, and it is good. Lake Central has let South Bend have a lot of those shots tonight, and it's killed them. Graciano taking it up. Yeah, Sellers now to Graciano. Graciano going inside. And they're not going to give him the M1 there.
They're going to say it was on the floor. Nonetheless, it'll be free throws.
Play foul number 44, Jonathan White. That's his third.
Looked like he was a little puzzled as to why it was not going to be a shooting foul.
And this is what's kind of been killing South Bend on this end of the floor. Even when they've played good defense, they've bailed out Lake Central by committing fouls.
Graciano makes his first one. Jack Davis and Zach Dubos will come out for Connor Tomzik and Derek Hobbs.
Returning for Lake Central, number 1, Derek Hobbs, and 5, Connor Tomzik.
Graciano's second one is up. That's good. With Robert Allen checking into the game. Guard, and Lake Central get it back.
And it's again back to that press and the double team by Lake Central. They put the pressure on the ball handler, and once again, they end up with a turnover.
They going against the freshman Robert Allen. Hobbs gets it to Tomzik. Back to Keon Sellers. And Sellers, not exactly sure what he was trying to do there. Looked like he was trying to get inside to Justin Graciano. but he couldn't find him.
Lake Central foul number 33, Justin Graciano. That's his second and the team's fifth.
Not the worst foul in the world there, by the way. Stop the fast break.
Less than 2 minutes left to play here. Lake Central up 41-33. Beecham going against Keon Sellers. And he tries to find number 42, Robert Allen, inside, and he can't. And let's see what the foul is here. It's going to be on South Bend. Dominic Schiponi will come back into the game.
Beecham, that's his second play is over the limit at the line for Lake Central. Isaac Beatty will shoot the double bonus.
I think Beecham thought that he could get the ball in that case, but he completely misses it. He was a little puzzled as to the call, but he did make contact with Beatty.
Beatty puts one's up, and it is good. Schiponi comes in for Justin Graciano.
Returning for Lake Central, number 34, Don Giappone.
Second one is up, and it is good. Beecham gets it over to gets it over the head of Keon Sellers. Back to Beecham now. He goes up for three, and is no good. And Lake Central can't handle the rebound. Derek Hobbs couldn't handle that one, and Lake Central get it back.
Lake Central ball.
Goes off Robert Allen. Betty. Gets it to Connor Tomzik. Tomzik going inside, and it's going to be a travel on Connor Tomzik. And Tomzik looks a little shocked that he was called for traveling there.
Yeah, his feet kind of slipped as he entered the lane.
Keon Sellers with the steal. Keon Sellers dunks the ball. We saw it 3 times last night. Keon Sellers. The roof almost came off this place when he dunked. And Jalen Alberts fouled.
Called for the travel.
Or excuse me.
Yeah, it's been really sloppy these last few minutes from South Bend Clay. That pass that led to the Sellers dunk was extremely lackadaisical, lacking in any kind of energy, and so Sellers was just able to cut it right off and had a clear path to the basket.
Lake Central has a 12-point lead with less than a minute to go in this half. It's Hobbs. Gets it to Tomzik. Tomzik gets inside to Schiponi. Schiponi gets it to Keon Sellers. Keon Sellers with the layup. Less than 40 seconds to play. Let's see what South Bend Clay can do at the end of this half. Sellers defending Beecham. Beecham goes inside, tried to get it to Antoine Gregory, freshman point guard. And he'll come to the line to shoot. Excuse me. Number 22, Trenton Johnson will inbound this one. And he tries passing it inside to Joshua Black. And Jack Davis fouled.
In the team's 7th at the line for
and Joshua Black will come to the line. 6'3" forward. First one is up. It's good. Let's see what Lake Central does in this next possession. There's 24 seconds left till they try to hold it for the last shot. Second one's up, and it is good. 2 of 2 from the line. Tomzik gets it to Derek Hobbs. Derek Hobbs, see what he can do at the end of the half. Less than 10 seconds to play. Hobbs inside. This one's no good. Lake Central can't get the rebound. Let's see if Beecham can get a shot off for the half. Here we go. 3. No good. Number 22, Trenton Johnson, freshman guard.
At halftime, our score, Lake Central
First half comes to a close, 47 to 35, Lake Central. We'll be back after this short break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We get ready to start the second half here. Lake Central leads 47-35. Connor Tomczyk inbounds it to Jack Davis. Jack Davis looked like he was about to pass it. Gets it to Jared Hobbs. Hobbs back to Tomczyk. And it's going to be a foul on number 22, Trenton Johnson.
Play foul number 22, Trenton Johnson. That's his
And we
third.
saw in the first half,
First.
South Bend Clay kept getting themselves into foul trouble. They got to not do the same thing in this second half. Jack Davis gets inside to Graciano. Graciano puts up a shot. No good. Graciano almost got the rebound. Connor Tomczyk got it. And they couldn't do anything with it. Trenton Johnson going up against Derek Hobbs. And that one is no good. Johnson gets his own rebound, and it is good.
And out of the half, South Bend gets the stop they wanted, and they get a score on the other end.
South Bend again with that press. Graciano going inside, and that was no good. Tomczyk able to finish it.
And the reason that's so open for Tomczyk is because there's nobody else in the lane to get the rebound. It's an easy offensive rebound. Everybody else was scattered across the perimeter for South Bend.
Well, I'm puzzled to see why South Bend has called a timeout just a minute into this third quarter.
Well, I was talking about it was kind of a dream start in the sense that you get the stop and then you get the points on the other end. But right there, perhaps a breakdown in defense for South Bend leads to the timeout.
And they'll both keep the same 5 out there for now. As number 24, Jackson Jones will inbound it. Gets it to Beecham. Out to Robert Allen. Point guard, and passes it to Jones, and he gets it back to Alberts, and that one is out of bounds. It'll stay with Lake Central, or excuse me, South Bend Clay. They're inbound it. Number 22, Trenton Johnson. And he's going to throw it over the head of Derek Hobbs. Beecham able to get that one. Back to Beecham now. Johnson. Looked like he was about to shoot it. Puts up a shot against Sellers, and it's going to be a foul on Keon Sellers. He'll come to the line.
Foul number 25, Keon Sellers. That's his third, and the team's first of the second half. The line for Clay, Alan Presley will shoot 2.
It looked like Keon Sellers is in some pain right now. He was holding his groin, and first one is up, and it is good. Sellers will check out of the game now. Dominic Schiponi will come in. Saw Keon Sellers last night. His right hamstring, he hurt that a little coming down for a layup. Lake Central should hope that he's all right.
It's always tough second day when we're back-to-back.
And no good, but South Bend gets it back. And that one is no good. Had a pretty decent look. And he puts up a shot. That one no good. Air ball, Justin Graciano able to get that rebound. Jack Davis swings it out to Connor Tomczyk for 3. What a play by Lake Central. 3
Just
by
like that, the momentum falls right off a cliff for South Bend. They had an opportunity to get 2 more on the board. They missed a pretty good look, and on the other end, Lake Central with the 3 kills all the momentum.
Puts up a shot, and that one is good. Number 32, Alan Presley. Quick inbound to Derek Hobbs. Derek Hobbs, spin move. Hobbs going inside, and that one is good.
No resistance at the rim whatsoever. Once Hobbs got past his man, it was just him in the rim.
Hobbs made that one look a little too easy. Gets it inside, and that one does not go in. Graciano taking it up on the fast break. Graciano gets inside to Tomczyk, and that one is good. Lake Central, that's 2 straight easy layups for him.
No interior presence whatsoever from South Bend on either of those plays.
Beecham now. 42. Robert Allen nearly lost it. Allen and Beecham passing back and forth. Looks like South Bend's trying to get something going on the outside. Trenton Johnson puts up a shot, and that one is good.
Trenton Johnson.
Puts it down to 14. Jack Davis, Lake Central, we see it. They're trying to play a little bit faster. Straponi going inside, and that one is good. It seems like every time South Bend is on the verge of getting some momentum and getting back into this game, Lake Central just is not, and that is a deep three, and that one, it's going to be a foul on Lake Central. I don't see why number 22, Trenton Johnson, felt the need to take that deep three right there.
Heat check.
Returning for play, number 20, Jalen Alberts.
Well, look, Trenton Johnson strikes me as a player that believes he can make a shot from anywhere on the floor if he has enough space. So, I mean, Lake Central did not come up to contest the shot right away, and he let it fly.
Inbounds it, and he nearly loses it. Three, that one is no good. Jalen Alberts with the miss. Connor Tomzik gets it to Derek Hobbs. Derek Hobbs now inside, that one is no good. Alan Presley able to get that rebound. Gets it to Trenton Johnson. And that one, it's going to be a foul on Lake Central. Excuse me, no, Lake Central get the ball back. That's Derek Hobbs. Jackson Jones defending him. Connor Tomzik trying to get inside to Straponi. He nearly lost it. Straponi gets the layup. Lake Central again in this second half. They're having their way inside with this team. Johnson. Anthony Neal in the game now for South Bend. First time we see him out there. Another deep three. That one no good. That was Jalen Alberts with the miss. Seen Jalen Alberts hit some big threes for South Bend tonight. He couldn't hit that one. Missed by South Bend. Straponi gets the rebound. Connor Tomzik now going inside. That one is no good. Alberts gets it to Johnson. Back to Alberts. Johnson now. Gets it to Anthony Neal. Back. Johnson looking for something inside, and he gets the layup.
And it worked there, but I'm curious as to why South Bend Clay continues to kind of play the same way. In the last couple of plays down the court, they've swung the ball back and forth around the perimeter.
Hobbs outside to Jack Davis. Graciano, corner three. That one is good.
And going back to my previous point just quickly, you know, it seems like they're waiting for something to open up inside by swinging the ball back and forth around the perimeter, and it just doesn't really seem to be opening up for them, and they end up settling for either a deep three or a contested shot inside.
And that one is blocked by Connor Tomzik. He'll stay with South Bend. Isaac Betty will check into the game for number 5, Connor Tomzik. Johnson will inbound it, and it deflects off of Lake Central. It'll stay with South Bend. Johnson will inbound it. And he throws it all the way across the court to Alan Presley. Presley has it. We'll get it out to Anthony Neal. Gets it back to Presley. Defended by Dominic Straponi. Presley going inside. That one is good.
Alan Presley.
And it wouldn't show up in the highlights, but Jalen Alberts set a pretty interesting screen there. He stays his ground. His defender has to stay, and it leads to Lake Central's defenders almost colliding with each other, and an easy look for the basket for South
Jack
Bend.
Davis, no good. And that one looked like it went off Lake Central. And it did.
Returning to Lake Central, number 5, Connor Tomzik.
Here we go, Connor Tomzik comes back into the game for Jack Davis. Trenton Johnson going up against Zach Betty. Gets it to Neal, back to Johnson. He gets it to Presley. Presley going to Trenton Johnson. Johnson back to Neal. Jalen Alberts for deep three, and that one is good. Jalen Alberts cuts the deficit to 14. Just less than a minute, 10 to go here in this third quarter. Pony now puts up the shot, and that one is good. Jalen Alberts for three, and that one is good. 2 straight threes at the end of this third quarter for Jalen Alberts.
Jalen Alberts starting to heat up a little bit from beyond the arc.
Maybe at the right time here, right? Let's see if he can carry that momentum into the fourth quarter. Derek Cobbs now with it, gets it to Betty. Betty nearly lost the ball there. Derek Cobbs now. Graciano. Betty on the outside. And 20 seconds to go in this third quarter. Betty, and he's fouled by Trenton Johnson. Seemed like the coach for South Bend Clay, Delray Brooks, couldn't believe that was a foul.
And it's a little frustrating as a player as the clock continued to wind down there. Lake Central perhaps looking to try to take the last shot of this quarter now.
Let's see what they can do here. Less than 10 seconds. Let's see what happens. Graciano for deep three. That one is no good. South Bend Clay, let's see what they can do. Deep three, and that one is no good. Well, at the end of this third quarter, Lake Central is up 65-52. One more quarter left to go here. And we saw at the end of the half, Jalen Alberts hit 2 straight threes to make this a 13-point game. How much of an impact do you think he's going to play in this fourth quarter if South Bend Clay wants to make a comeback?
Well, if they want to make a comeback, he's going to have to be a big part of it. Right now, he's the best option they have. Offensively, my biggest concern for South Bend Clay in any kind of, comeback is going to be their offense has been kind of stagnant in the second half. The threes make it look a little prettier than it was because, they don't create a lot of good looks for themselves. They've kind of reduced themselves to passing the ball around the perimeter and occasionally passing inside only to try to find an outside shot and just kind of settling for it when nothing starts to pop up. They seem to be a little impatient on the offensive side of the ball, and it's led to them taking a lot of non-quality shots.
Come out of the timeout. Starting 5 for Lake Central to start this fourth quarter. It's going to be Keon Sellers, Derek Cobbs, Connor Tomzik, Jack Davis, and Dominic Schiponi. As South Bend Clay will start with the ball for this fourth quarter. Gets it to Trenton Johnson, defended by Keon Sellers. And they're double teaming him. Look like he's stuck, and that one will come back to South Bend.
Trenton Johnson was stuck in no man's land there with the double team on him. He does a pretty good job at just getting the ball off of Sellers and out of bounds to get another shot at it.
And he's double teamed again. And this time it's a jump ball, and it'll come back to Lake Central.
Bit of a quick whistle there from the official, at least in my opinion. Frustrated is Trenton Johnson. The real concern for South Bend Clay is that Lake Central has gone back to that full court press. And when they were doing it in the first half, Lake Central was having their way with them defensively.
Hobbs inside. That one's no good. Albert's able to get the rebound. What a move by him. No results in anything there, but here we go. Johnson going up against Connor Tomzik, and this one is, let's see what happened here. I think it's going to be a foul on Lake Central. Zach Betty will check back into the game for Derek Hobbs. Also, Justin Graziano
Entering the play lineup,
will come back in for Keon Sellers.
returning for Lake Central number 20, Isaac Beatty, and 33, Justin
Excuse me, he'll
Graziano.
come in for number 34, Dominic Schiapponi. Graziano will inbound it to Betty. Betty now looking for something. Go against Jalen Alberts. Tomczyk now inside to Graziano. Easy two for Graziano.
And I've been talking about the lack of interior defense for South Bend Clay all game. But I think another big issue for South Bend Clay is that ball handlers just aren't as comfortable as Lake Central's.
And look like Betty
Got hit in the eye, it looks like.
Lake Central foul number 20, Isaac Beatty, that's his second and the team's third.
Well, the foul will go against him.
and see if he's
Play
all right.
number 44, Jonathan White.
Well, Dave Malaznik, the coach, asked him if he was good to go, and he just gave him an affirmative yes. Beatty still, though, asking why there was no foul call the other way.
And Sellers almost had a steal. And Alberts for three. That one's no good. Alberts couldn't hit that one. Tomczyk on the fast break. Gets it to Graziano. Gets it to Bay, and we'll see if Betty's good to go. He got hit in the eye just now. Graziano looking for something. Graziano puts it up, and that one is good. He got the foul, and will come to the line to shoot.
Play foul number 44, Jonathan White. That's his
Lake Central up 69-52 with 6:32 to go.
At the line for Lake Central, Justin Graziano will shoot one.
And Graziano is just such a handful inside. He just kind of bullies defenders out of his path.
That one's up, and it is good. Jonathan White inside, gets out to Albert. Jonathan White again. Gets it to Albert for three, and that one's no good.
Back to what I was talking about, settling for deep threes and contested looks, not working for South Bend Clay in this fourth quarter.
Sellers to Tomczyk, back to Betty. Sellers inside. That one, and he's fouled on the way up. So he'll come to the line to shoot two.
Play foul number 32, Evan Presley. That's his fourth and the team's fourth. At the line for Lake Central, Keon Sellers will shoot two.
Sellers, senior forward. That one's up. That was no good. Keon Sellers is a multi-sport athlete here at Lake Central. He just got done in the fall playing football for the Lake Central Indians. Plays wide receiver. Second one is up. That one's good. And he gets over the head to Sellers. And Betty gets the steal. Not a smart choice by South Bend. Keon Sellers. That one's no good. Betty almost got it back up, and that one is no good. Jonathan White, Graziano almost had the steal. And Alberts for three, no good. And we were talking about at the end of the third quarter that in order for South Bend to make a potential comeback here, they needed Alberts to step up big. He's had 4 opportunities, and he's 0 for 4 from 3, and it's going to be a foul on him.
Play foul number 20, Jalen Alberts. That's his second and the team's fifth. Returning for the Colonials, number 24, Jackson Jones.
Jackson Jones will come in for number 44, Jonathan White.
And it's been a tough start to this fourth quarter for South Bend Clay.
Graziano puts it up, and that one's no good. And let's see who they give it to. They're going to give it to South Bend Clay.
Play ball.
Central back again to this full court press. Gonna put some pressure on this ball.
Yeah, and Sellers got a hand on that one. Wasn't able to get it though. Johnson now. 3, that one is no good. And South Bend Clay has gotten some pretty decent looks from the 3-point line. They just haven't been able to hit them. And they're now down 19 with 5:05 left in this game.
Beatty gets called for the foul there. He can't believe it. I like his fight though. He's been a scrappy player anytime he's been in this game.
And that one's going to be a foul on South Bend Clay.
Play foul number 32, Alan Presley. That's his 5th.
May have been an illegal screen. This is the second time they've done that. They've come out of an inbound play with everybody stacked kind of next to each other. It makes it very difficult to stay on your man because you're not really sure where anybody's going to go. Got a lot of bodies bumping into each other. So, but this time it doesn't work out for them. The referee's called him for an offensive foul.
And Alan Presley, that was his 5th foul. He fouls out of this game. And Betty gets it to Jack Davis. Jack Davis inside to Connor Tomczyk. Connor Tomczyk couldn't handle that one. Keon Sellers inside. That one's no good, but he'll come to the line to shoot 2 free throws.
Play foul number 24, Jackson Jones. That's his 3rd and the team's 7th. At the line of Lake Central, Keon Sellers will shoot 2.
Here goes Sellers. Getting ready to shoot. First one's up. That one is good.
We talked about him being a 2-sport athlete. You can kind of see the burst that he has when he attacks the basket like that of a wide receiver.
Derek Cobbs checks back into the game for Isaac Betty. Johnson trying to go inside, and that one is no good. Number 40, Joshua Black, able to get that one back in.
Lake Central, one of the few times the press has not worked today. South Bend Clay was able to dribble through the pressure and get an easy look at the basket.
Graciano outside. Connor Tomczyk gets it to Graciano. Graciano for 2. That one is good. Lake Central now up by 21. 4:11 to go. Alberts gets a good look. Again, no good. And Beecham able to get that one back in for South Bend. Graciano trying to get something going. Derek Hobbs gets it to Jack Davis. Keon Sellers gets it to Connor Tomczyk. And nearly turned over there by Lake Central. I feel like Central, these last 3 minutes, you just got to hang on for the win. And Jack Davis gets the easy 2.
Well, for Lake Central now, it's got to be just about controlling the rest of this game, not letting anything too crazy happen.
As Trenton Johnson misses that one. He's able to put it back up, and that one's no good. Justin Graziano gets the rebound. Graziano going inside. That one is good.
Graciano, a tank when he moves down the lane like that.
Outside Beecham. And at this point, it's really just going to take a miracle for this team to come back out. Deep 3. That one goes in.
Timeout called by Lake Central. The thing I was going to say was that at this point, if you're South Bend Clay, it's not really about the comeback. I mean, you're down 21 with 2:33 to go. Certainly anything's possible. But for now, I think that you're best off settling for trying to see what you can get out of this game, find some positives, and get your offense flowing a little better than it's been for them, have some defensive stands that you can look back on later in the film room and build on forward. Look, this is a 1-win team so far. At this point, any kind of positives you can take away from any game are important.
Well, I think it's important to note that this team does wear purple and yellows, and we saw what a team wearing purple and yellow did a couple weeks ago, the Minnesota Miracle. So I'm sure anything's possible.
Anything's possible, but I don't think Marcus Williams is anywhere near this gym at the moment.
I said after that game that I think I've seen it all when it comes to comebacks in sports. After seeing that one, it was back to basketball. Looks like Lake Central's taking a little bit long with their timeout.
Even in a blowout, Dave Malosnik, coaching up his players, wants them to do the right things. Like I said, and if you're Lake Central, the opposite sort of what I was saying about South Bend Clay for Lake Central, at this point it's about executing, it's about getting through the rest of this game without letting anything get out of hand.
Well, for the first time, number 40, Kyle Blum, will come into the game. Sophomore forward. Keon Sellers now gets it to Kyle Blum. Let's see what he can do in these last 2 minutes. Gets to number 35, Dawson Cheney. Outside. And it's nearly stolen.
Out of bounds, Lake Central ball. Returning for the Indians, number 20, Isaac Beatty, and 34, Don Chiappone.
Isaac Beatty will come out of the game, and so will Keon Sellers. Dominic Chiappone will check back in. And Zach Dubos will come into the game. Chiappone gets it inside to Dubos, and he puts it up Dawson Cheney, and that one's no good. He was fouled. He'll come to the line.
Amari Beecham, that's his third, and the team's 8th. At the line for Lake Central, Dawson Cheney will shoot 2.
Dawson Cheney is going to shoot 2 free throws here. First one's up. No good.
And Cheney, for a player like that, you know, that hasn't gotten a lot of run, and to this point he's actually gotten no minutes, it's important to get the ball in your hands.
That one's good. $80 to 58 here. I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much over, but good fight from South Bend Clay tonight. We saw some positives from them tonight, but this fourth quarter they really haven't been able to get much going on the offensive side of the ball, and the scoreboard shows it.
Yeah, they've struggled a lot on the offensive end. They had a lot of runs in this game where they looked like they were going to figure something out offensively, but it's like I talked about. They just don't really have anything going on offense to create quality shots consistently every time down the floor.
Well, for Lake Central, their focus is going to shift now to Thursday's DAC matchup against Maryville. Very big game for them on the road against a 10-7 Maryville team.
Another team that wears purple, too.
Out of bounds, Lake Central ball.
I'd like to see what Lake Central's record is against teams that wear purple this year. Inbounds it to Betty. Betty looking for something. Gets it to Hunter Zeskowski, sophomore forward. Speaking of Lake Central basketball, the girls varsity team plays Munster on Wednesday. Very big game for them. It's their first sectional game. Certainly want to wish good luck to them. Named co-DAC champions this year, along with Laporte. Just to give a little preview of that game, they actually won that game 49 to 47 in the regular season against Munster. So it'll be interesting to see how they come out for that one.
Clash of the Titans early on in the sectional tournament.
And it's going to be a foul.
Lake Central foul number 24, Zach Dobas. That's his first and the team's 6th.
And a steal by Lake Central, and he's fouled on the way up. Zach Dobus with the and one.
That's his fourth and the team's 10th. At the line for Lake Central, Zach Dobus will shoot one.
And first one's up. That one's no good. And a three from number 22, Trenton Johnson. Just a minute left to go in this game. Kyle Blum, yes, that gets it to Zach Betty, and a foul.
Play foul number 42, Robert Allen. That's his first. Play is over the limit.
Pretty aggressive defensive move there by Robert Allen at this stage of the game. And as you can see, Lake Central is no longer even thinking about offensive rebounds. Happy to let South Bend Clay kind of take over on offense if somebody does miss a free throw here.
And he missed the second one. And a three from Beecham, no good. I think that's pretty much the theme of this fourth quarter.
Yeah, it's been a lot of ugly three-point shots, either in transition or contested. I mean, they couldn't find any ways to create those good shots. And this is a team that can shoot the ball from the perimeter. It's pretty obvious in seeing them that they absolutely can shoot from the perimeter. It's just a matter of getting better looks.
And he puts one up, and when he's fouled on the way up. I want to give a big thank you to our crew for tonight. Tyler, writer, director, Jacob Couture makes all the graphics that go on here. Marcus Orr shoots too, and Max Gokasi doing the camera work for tonight. We have a great crew of people that come out here at least once a week to provide all this for us, and just can't thank them enough for all they do. You know, coming out here on a Saturday night to set all this up for us.
Absolutely, none of this possible without anybody working behind the scenes.
Last 25 seconds. Let's see what Lake Central can do here. And Eddie able to somehow keep that one. But that one, it's going to come back to Lake Central.
And you kind of see the scrappy nature there of Beatty. In this type of situation, as a coach, you'd probably prefer him to just kind of get rid of the ball, as he's a pretty big part of their rotation. You don't want to see him kind of get tangled up in something. But you know, he sees it's his competitive nature. He's willing to sit in there and take the bumps if necessary.
First one's up. That was good. Second one is up, and that one's good. See what they're trying to do in these last few seconds. And that one's no good. Take another two. That one's no good. Looks like they'll probably just keep it for these last few seconds. They do. That is it. Final score, 87-63. Be sure to tune in for our next live stream, February 9th against Michigan City. That's going to be a big game for Lake Central, another DAC opponent. That is all for tonight. I'm Giovanni Alcantara, play-by-play.
And I'm Eric Alcantara, the analyst tonight. Thank you so much for having me.
We'll see you.